Alrighty.
Live.
We're live. All right, guys. So we are going to wait a few minutes to get people on board. But for those of you that are watching this on the replay, welcome to the replay. I have no idea what's about to happen because it hasn't happened yet. But it's going to be awesome. Well, I'm excited to talk about cleanses today.
Yeah, I hope that we have a difference of opinion because I think it's so fun and interesting. I love hearing from different specialties about all sorts of things, not just things like cleansing, but everything.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I'm excited because that's my favorite part about Blunt and Biased is since this is really our entertainment and for our followers, we get to say what we really feel.
right.
My sister-in-law was all excited to watch, and then my brother actually officially retired today, so they're out for their celebratory lunch.
Oh my gosh,
So
fun! Oh yeah,
I'll
just
watch
watch the recording. Yeah, for sure.
For sure. All right. Well, for those that are going to watch this later, you're going to be utterly bored by our, hey, Lise. My buddy Lisa is on. Great to see you again. She's back. Awesome. She was the one who provided us the good feedback after the second one, the hormone one, the last one.
Yes. Oh, good. Hi, Lisa.
Thanks for being back, Lise.
We
got a few more watchers popping on right now. Awesome. So we've been live for 1 minute and 45 seconds. I'm going to wait till we're at 2 minutes, and then we'll officially kick it off. We got people hopping on as we talk it out.
It's a really good topic. You thought of it right before it's just timely. I think there's a lot of pressure to do all sorts of stuff and revamp your life completely over the new year. And so I'm excited to talk about it. Hopefully you get to talk more because last time I feel like I could talk the whole time.
Well, it was your expertise, so it's perfect. I feel like today it's a lot of opinions, so it's going to be good.
For sure.
All right, so let's get this party started. For those of you that haven't watched us before, my name is Teresa Paganini. I am a certified health coach, behavioral change specialist, and weight management coach. And my passion is helping men and women feel their best inside of their own body and doing that in a healthy, sustainable way that is really focused on self-love and not on self-abuse through restriction and binging and self-deprecation. So that's where I come in, and my specialty and my focus is going to be during these live streams. And then we've got my favorite naturopath, Dr. Katie Schneller, and I'm going to pass it off to you.
Hi. I'm a practicing naturopathic doctor. I used to stay in Tempe, but I'm moving my office. I don't even know if I fully informed you of this. Yeah, I'm moving to Tempe. There's a perfect pair in the complex, and there's a chiropractor's office, and so I'm moving into there. It's off of Priest. But anyway.
Priest and what?
So super excited.
For those of you that are local.
Terrible with directions, but you would get to it off of the 10 and Ray. So it's on the border. It's barely Tempe. Awatuki, Chandler.
Where you're at. So you're at Ray and Priest. Because the perfect pair right there by that. Oh my gosh, you're so close.
Yeah. I'm super excited.
This is super exciting. So for those of you that are local, that's going to be near the Teharu. It's going to be near the perfect pair with both great places.
There's a new Black Rock coffee there too, which I just
is there?
found out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so you're across from the Lowe's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Congratulations. I know that's been in the works for a long time. Good job.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. But anyway, so I'm a naturopathic doctor local to Arizona here. I'm in my 3rd year of practice, and we are talking today about to cleanse or not to cleanse. And we were mentioning before we went live that hopefully we have a little bit of conflicting opinion, and I would love to hear from whoever's joining today, what your experience has been with cleansing or detoxing, if we can access that.
Info. So let's actually start with that. Those of you that are watching, we're bouncing around between 2 and 5 viewers as people get on and off the internet, I think is what it is. So put in the comments for us, because all of you have the ability to comment no matter what platform you're watching us on. What is your experience with cleanses, either your questions about cleanses or your opinions on cleanses? Because that's definitely where we're going to be having a good time today. And so we'd love to have you participate and not just watch as we go at our opinions.
Yeah.
So while we are waiting for people to throw their comments and opinions up there, as a weight management coach, right? Like I know a lot of people come to me with preconceived ideas of what is the right way to lose weight, what is the wrong way to lose weight. And they aren't necessarily coming to me to change their mind, but to help keep them accountable to that or teach them how to follow that philosophy
Mhm.
better.
Mhm.
Right. And so, just so you know, when you work with me, I do come at you with the zero judgment. Even if I don't believe in what you believe, I respect your belief system. And so all I do is question where it came from, what you like about it, why you believe in it. We talk a little bit about the pros and cons of it. And so cleansing is one of them.
Yeah.
And so I personally, so I'm reading, I want to see if I can, I have to, there's a
Yeah,
video I can
share if
show
you
you. So here's Lisa's comment. I think it's great. They sound like a good idea, but I like eating food and never making a day on just fruits and juice.
right.
Amen, sister.
Yeah.
Katie, are you in the same boat?
I love food. Yeah, love food. But I have done a number of cleanses. And so honestly, partially it's been because before I give anyone any instruction in what to do, I feel like I need to have experienced it myself. And in naturopathic medical school, they do talk a lot about cleansing and juicing, and they prescribe that even for certain conditions. And so I just thought that it would be fair that I do that. Now, there's a whole like a few things that I've not done. I've never done a water fast. Um,
Sounds
but
awful.
there's all sorts of it's awful. But all sorts of benefits for juicing and fasting and cleansing and detoxing and stuff. But I think I totally want to hear what you have to say first though, especially when it comes to the sustainability of weight loss, because in my opinion, it can be a really good kickstart or like a boost. Didn't work for me, says Prudence, worked for Jack, but the results did not last. Exactly. Right. It's like you feel great. You do help your system, you help your liver, you clean out your vacuum of intestines, so to speak. But it's not sustainable weight loss. But what has your experience been?
Yeah. So first of all, hi Prudence. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing super well. Merry Christmas. So the idea of cleansing, right? Like you were just mentioning, I think like keto, because you and I have had this conversation, it was created for a very specific purpose. It was not meant
Mhm.
for the general pop to use as weight loss. It was created to help children that suffer from seizures and epilepsy, right? It
Right.
had a purpose. And
I
it
think people don't
happened.
know that.
No, they don't know that. So, right,
Yeah.
that is the
Yeah.
purpose of keto. Does it help you lose weight? Is that a side effect? Absolutely. But it is not meant as that was never why it was created. And I
Right.
feel like cleanses, to your point of what you learned in naturopathic school, it has a purpose for a specific group. It's not meant,
Right.
um, in my opinion, to be a weight loss method. Because
Hmm.
to what Prudence pointed out, and what Lisa pointed out, one, it's really difficult to do, and two, it's not sustainable weight loss.
Yeah.
So I think what a lot of people don't realize, right? I hear this all the time. I lose my weight and then I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to live an 80-20 lifestyle. Well, if you think about what 80-20 means, guys, if you eat 5 meals a day, 80-20 means you get to eat one trash meal a day. So tell me, can you maintain weight loss eating one Big Mac and French fry meal a day? The answer is no.
Yeah.
And so to maintain your weight loss, you have to do almost exactly what you did to lose the weight to keep it off.
Hmm.
Multiple studies have proven when they put people on a 1400 calorie diet to lose weight, they had to continue with the 1400 calorie diet to keep the weight off,
Right.
which is where my philosophies are. If I can keep you eating as much food as possible and still lose weight, you'll be able to be successful, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
A
Yeah.
cleanse is the opposite. It's putting you down to the bare bones minimum calories possible. So if your point of cleansing is to lose weight, will you? Yes, absolutely. Will you keep it off? No.
No. Yeah.
And what kind of head game? How does that mess with your psyche?
Right.
I
Yeah, like
promise.
the only way that I'm gonna lose weight is if I am really fasting or not eating enough. But I think honestly, before we get in any deeper, there's a lot of different opinion on language, I think. And so if you want to talk about what the difference is between cleansing versus detox, is there a difference? Because some people are like, yeah, or fasting even, what is the
Yeah.
What are the differences in the words and how do people know?
I think it's a great question, right? And so, and I think honestly, I don't know that there is one right answer. So this is where I definitely want us to kind of go back and forth, because my understanding is there's a variety of different ways to cleanse, and the purpose
Yeah.
of the cleanse is to detox,
Mhm.
right? And so there is supplement cleanses where you're cleaning out your colon, liver, right? Like you're cleansing out some of the organs through supplementation. There are juice cleanses. There are what, like you said, the water cleanses.
Yeah.
There are removing specific food group cleanses. I mean, I think technically when somebody does a food intolerance test and all of a sudden they're
Yeah.
pulling out the foods they can't tolerate, that's technically a version of a cleanse,
Right.
a much healthier version, in my opinion, that's stemmed on science and actual basis of what you can't handle
Right.
versus just a willy-nilly, hey, let's just do this right now. But
Yeah.
that's my understanding. What's yours?
Yeah, no, totally. Like from different patient interactions too, a lot of people just use those words interchangeably. And from my understanding, there's no real difference between cleansing, detox, purification. It's all super similar. And it is kind of like you cleanse in order to detox or you cleanse in order to purify. Um,
I'm curious from
yeah,
your end, from a naturopathic end, like
yeah,
when would you recommend the cleanse? Because it's not an all or nothing, right? It's not like cleanses are awful or cleanses are fabulous. Like there's a purpose
yeah.
for them. So what's the
Hmm.
purpose? When would you recommend it?
It's been few and far between that I've recommended cleansing. But I have used detoxification programs, things. So one of my favorite companies is Standard Process. Everything that they have is incredibly clean. And they have a few different cleanses. I've done two of them. One is like a 10-day one, and then another one is a 21-day one. And I use that only for my patients that have a lot of hormonal dysfunction, thyroid dysfunction, kind of everything's a mess. Their gut is a mess, as a restart, almost like to hit the reset button is what I use that for. And it's not a sustainable thing, of course. Like when I did the 21-day one for the first 10 days, you can't eat any meat the whole time. No dairy, no sugar, no gluten, no grains of any kind. The most grainy thing you could have was lentils, no caffeine, no alcohol, of course. And so it's extremely intense and wildly unsustainable, but it does help you feel better. You feel fantastic. I felt so much energy. My skin was so clear. I had zero brain fog. I sometimes deal with dizziness. I had literally no dizziness. And I was like, okay, what we eat really does matter. But you can't eat that way. I don't expect my patients to be that perfect. So I'll use it as kind of like a jump start to weight loss, just to help people remember how it feels to feel that good and that out of inflammation. Um, but that's really all. I mean, there are tons of other docs who use cleanses and juice fasting, and I know some people simply do it just to give their intestines a break, which I think is totally valid too. To give the stomach a break and just have water or just juicing all throughout the day, or a liquid diet, even like smoothies and stuff too. And that's just to allow the body, like we're constantly asking the body to break food down all day long, in and
Yeah.
out. And it's a lot. It's a lot for the body.
And especially these last few months, right? I mean, starting with the kickoff of Halloween, where there's an overabundance of candy, and then you're moving
Yeah.
into Thanksgiving, where usually there's an overabundance of everything, and then of course
Yes.
Christmas, and then New Year's, right? So there's all this overabundance, and so I could absolutely see the benefits of a form of a cleanse to reset the digestive tract. I mean, our
Right.
bioflora. I mean, our stomach is the key area of our well-being. It's the new
Hmm.
brain, right? And so when it's overtaxed, we are going to struggle. Right? Our body needs to recuperate at night while we sleep, and it's going to struggle to do that if it's too busy trying to just take care of all the gunk. And so, in that
Exactly.
regard, right, there's a very specific reason for the cleanse. It's not weight loss, but it is the detoxification to ensure the organs are running more efficiently, to give them a break from having to work so hard. And I do believe in that. And technically, right, like if somebody is coming to me for weight loss, um, I'm going to recommend severely reducing, if not restricting completely, alcohol,
Hmm.
severely reducing, or if not completely restricting, processed sugar, right? So
Hmm.
if we really branch
It's
out
kind
on
of a
the
cleanse.
cleanse, right, it's technically
Yeah.
considered, it's not, in my opinion, a cleanse. But what
Yeah.
it is removing the nutritionally deficient foods that don't assist in your health and or
Yeah.
weight loss.
Yeah.
Um, and just to be clear, guys, what Katie pointed out is super, super important. When she did her cleanse and felt amazing, the reason it's not sustainable is because of the lifestyle, the society, and the world and how it's developed. Back in the day, when we were hunters and gatherers, and there was no form of entertainment, there was no real form of alcohol, mixers, fast food,
Happy hours.
The potlucks where everybody bringing the vegetables from the field that they just picked or the animal meat they just hunted. There wasn't, pardon me, but we're being blunt and biased. There wasn't shit food, right? Like there wasn't nutritionally stupid food around. And so that wasn't available. That was sustainable. What you did, Katie, to feel amazing absolutely was sustainable back in the day. But nowadays, it's just not sustainable because it's hard to be social cleansed. It is hard to feel connected to people because all of a sudden you stand out as the different person because you're eating differently, being different, whatever. And so that's why it's not sustainable. Nowadays, social and community health is so much harder to achieve than when we were hunters and gatherers and spent every meal together as a community.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, that's how life was. Now we're here live streaming. You and I aren't even in the same room. Connecting is so difficult. Right? And so we crave it, which makes it difficult to cleanse. Hi, Suzanne.
Hi, everybody. I can't see who's joining, but I think maybe it's.
I can't. I just see. Can you see the comments?
Oh, yes. Okay. Now I can. I just couldn't when I was full screen.
Oh, I got you.
Hi, everybody.
I don't even know how to go full screen. We're so funny. Like, this is where I'm. Oh, I see. Anyway. Okay. So I would love, guys, your thoughts, right? You've told like the cleanse seems like a good idea. Hard to do.
Yeah. Is anybody thinking about doing a cleanse? Like,
yeah. And what types? We've talked about the various types. What have you tried? Supplement, no food, juicing, water.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
By the way, like while we're waiting on you guys to answer that, most cleansing, like even if you ate nothing and only drank water, that's going to be okay for most of the population. But please, like, consult your healthcare provider, your nutritionist, your dietitian, your naturopathic doctor, or somebody, nurse practitioner who has education in nutrition before you start on anything, because it can be dangerous for some people and it's not safe for all bodies and all conditions. So you can't just look it up on Google or follow the Instagram ad all the time, right? Like we have to figure out if it's okay for you and your body.
No doubt. I don't want to see a diabetic going on a cleanse or even somebody with a thyroid issue. You're just going to screw yourself up. So, I mean, anything in this nature, like anything just generic is meant for the healthy individual that doesn't have an underlying condition that if you want to experiment, you may give yourself an underlying condition, but right. That's why it's so important to talk to your healthcare professional. And I will say this, when it comes to something like a cleanse, that is a naturopathic specialty versus a Western medicine specialty.
Yes.
So I highly recommend reaching out to Dr. Katie and getting her thoughts. And even though she is based in Arizona, her expertise can be used worldwide. So don't hesitate to reach out to her wherever you are. Yeah. I'm pimping you out.
Right. Well, every time I do the food sensitivity panels, and maybe it doesn't look like anybody's thinking about a cleanse right now, which is fine, totally fine. But the food sensitivity panel thing, like it is in a way a form of detoxification. When you get your blood drawn to identify what your food sensitivities are, it's a particular immunoglobulin in the body. It's called immunoglobulin G. And basically what that means is every time you eat particular foods, you might think that they're healthy, broccoli, cucumber, celery. And so you go on a celery juice fast, but for your body considers celery to be toxic. And so it causes an immune response, which causes inflammation. And so you could think that you're doing the right thing, right? But until you figure out specifically what your body considers toxic, it's hard to be healthy. It's hard to know. It's hard to do anything. And so when you join when you join with a naturopath or start seeing one, and then you get your blood drawn for a food sensitivity panel, we're able to tell you exactly which foods your body considers toxic. And I use Teresa to help my patients figure out what to eat, because I don't want them to be starving, right? That's not the point of it. It's to avoid the foods that your body has a problem with. And so some people don't know what to eat. They don't know when to eat. They don't know how often. And that's where you come in.
Yeah. Yeah, because
So
it's hidden in so many places as well, the foods.
yeah.
So Jess was talking about just some social community health, right? It
Oh,
is.
hey girl.
It's super important, and that's
Yeah.
why cleanses aren't sustainable. So I'm
Yeah.
going to talk just a little bit about
Yeah.
my version of cleansing that I do personally and through my programs, especially as the new year is coming around. Being a health coach, this is obviously my mecca. I'm going to be my busiest I'm going to be ever
Hmm.
the next few months. And so for me, and I had mentioned it already, so the cleansing that I do believe in is generally healthy, whether you have an underlying condition or not, and that's pulling out the food that doesn't provide any nutritional value. So alcohol has no nutritional value. It has social value for some, but I do believe it is important for us to learn how to be social without it, because it is possible. And I teach my clients, get yourself a glass. I was actually at a networking event, and the waitress had come up to me, and everybody was, of course, having a cocktail. And I was like, look, I want a cocktail glass, specifically a cocktail glass, filled with sparkling water and a slice of lime. Tell me
Yeah.
that doesn't look like I'm having a vodka tonic or something. So I look just as social as everybody else. But,
Hmm.
right, I don't, I don't I don't stand out. I don't make other people uncomfortable, because the moment I tell them I'm a health coach, they're like, oh my God. Um, they get uncomfortable. But because I look like, I'm comfortable, they're comfortable, and yet I'm still doing what's good for my body. So alcohol
Yeah.
out. I'm going to definitely, right? Like that's going to be an easy one. Processed sugar. Now, to avoid sugar entirely, if you're a diehard, go for it. But that's more work than I'm willing to put in from a sustainability aspect. Some people want to look at all their medications and see which of the coatings on their medications have sugar in it.
Whoa.
I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to give up fruit. Fruit has a lot of micronutrients in it that are super healthy for the body, a lot of fiber. I'm not willing to let that go. I don't believe
Hmm.
that's for my health. That's
Yeah.
for a trend and a fad. Yes, I don't believe it's for my health personally.
Right.
I'm not willing to give up the higher sugar vegetables, because they have much more nutritional value than not. But the foods that are not nutritional, which is processed sugar, and I say processed sugar because, for sustainability, you have to enjoy your food. Adding some raw honey or some raw agave or some pure maple syrup in really responsible quantities, I think is absolutely fun and enjoyable. You've
Yeah.
got to enjoy your food. Otherwise, you're going to stop.
Right.
The cookie
Because
diet
like
is super
who wants to
popular.
start like the new year with a cleanse? I mean, just to like round out my opinion on this, I love cleanses. I think that they're great for their time and a place, but you have to have the right mindset about it. And if you're going into a cleanse, like, okay, I've been such a bad person and I've eaten so much sugar and junk over the holiday, and now I have to punish myself and I have to cleanse my system. Like, no, that's not loving for the body. If you want to do a cleanse, even if you don't call it a cleanse, if you want to avoid, some people do sober January. If you want to avoid alcohol or avoid sugar or something for an entire month or a week, then fantastic, so long as you're having a good and healthy mindset about it. And that's something else that working with you is so great about, because you work with the mindset and with people's relationships with food. You don't just say, yeah, okay, go into a calorie deficit. That's the only way to lose weight. There you go. You're welcome.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
awful. And what I
Yeah.
think the really good news about any cleanse, like even if it's just as simple as the alcohol sugar cleanse, is these are addictive items. Any like carbs, like let's say you want to get rid of processed carbohydrates, right? They can be very addictive for some. And
Hmm.
so removing them the first 2 weeks are hell. They suck. You're just craving. By day 3, I have to apologize to my family. I'm in full bitch mode. I'm like, I'm sorry. This sucks for you.
Yeah.
But like, I suggest you go like have a sleepover somewhere. Not David, but
Right. Yeah.
oh, David, you're not allowed to have a sleepover. But right. So like it's just the truth. Like by day 3, you kind of are bitchy. But I find if I can hold strong day 3 through 5,
Mhm.
and each time I'm holding strong, once again, that mindset game of saying, I am strong enough to say no and hold my no.
Yeah. And because you're held on to your why,
Right.
right? Like,
I
why am I doing this? You have to remember that, because of course, nothing is sustainable, no matter how healthy or unhealthy the habit is. It's not sustainable if you're not connected to your why. That goes for cleansing, but that goes for
anything.
all health, wellness practices, your job, anything in life, right? You got to remember why you're doing it. Otherwise, of course, you're going to end up resenting it or yourself.
Right.
for
And
having started it in the first place.
the pride you feel at the end of the day when you've held your no, right?
Right. Yeah.
That pride is what helps get you through. And then it just gets easier. And then after the 2 weeks, typically the cravings go away. And then it is much easier if you decide you want to make this a sustainable style of living and eating. It's so much easier to do.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
only time it becomes challenging again is when you take that first bite. It's just like being an alcoholic. When you take that first sip, that first bite, boom, the cravings
Workaholic.
go right back. So just know
Yep.
that. Know that as long as it's out, you're cool. But you just have to be willing to continue to say that no. And on things that don't have nutritional value, you can do that for the rest of your life if you so choose. But anything that's not, give it a finite date, give it a finite reason. To Dr. Katie's point, you have to have a very strong, logical why.
Yeah.
That will allow you to keep your no, keep that boundary. And every day, give yourself that atta-girl, atta-boy. Look in that mirror and go, you did good for you. Nice job. Right? We are so quick to tear ourselves down. That serves no purpose.
Yeah.
Take every opportunity to build yourself up, especially as something as challenging as a cleanse.
Yeah. And again, like make sure you're working with the healthcare provider, because something that I'm realizing that you're saying, there are things that can help, that you can take to help with cravings, like throughout that cleansing process or throughout that, like
Trim.
if you have a chocolate thing. Yeah. Right.
And even you can use that too, right?
Does it work for you?
It does. Holy crap, it does. So guys, what we're talking about, if you haven't seen my posts, your CBD store, which is nationwide, but we have two of them locally. Daryl, who's a good friend of ours.
Awatuki and Chandler.
Yeah, they have a CBD product, which CBD has never worked for me in my entire life. I've never seen the whole, like, who cared? But I was like, okay, let me try it. I don't recommend anything I don't try first, just like you said about cleanses. And holy patootie.
It works fast, and you do have to consistently take it, but I noticed a difference like 2 days in.
Yeah, I was on my third day
If
when all of a
nothing.
sudden I was like, holy crap. And I had a ton of focus and energy too, which was the best part. Cause I don't need an appetite suppressant. Maybe at night I do, but like typically I don't have to worry about that because I advocate eating. But holy hell, the energy and the focus were fantastic. But anyway, to Katie's point, trim is only one of them, but that is, there are products out there that help to get you past
help with
that.
appetite, like specifically, and remember, ask your doctor, because I'm not going to give specific medical advice on here ever. But if you're a chocolate person and you have trouble with that, taking magnesium can help, because there's magnesium in chocolate, and so your body actually, it doesn't think the magnesium's chocolate, but your cravings go down because you're giving yourself that nutrient that your body was asking you for.
Glutamine is great for sugar cravings.
Glycine is also good for that too. And it's sweet. Glycine is like little glycine sticks. You put that in tea and it's like honey. So there's all these little tricks.
Yeah. See? Gotta talk to our professionals. Maybe we'll throw some more tips on there as a follow-up to the post, just some of our tips. Cause I know my girlfriend taught me cinnamon. Throwing a cinnamon stick in some hot water helps like release bloat and excess water.
And it helps with to balance blood sugar.
All tricks. I love it.
Yep.
So if you had like to round everything up and kind of put a little bow on it, how would you summarize your thoughts?
To cleanse or not to cleanse?
Yeah.
I'm a proponent for cleansing, but that's because I'm a proponent for giving your body and your mind a break. And I found when I was cleansing, I wasn't shaming myself for what I was eating. I was really proud of myself, and I gained a lot of self-love in that time. And even if I only lost a few pounds, I felt a lot better. And so just realizing how much power I held in with just my own habits, without taking any magic supplements or without changing my exercise regimen or anything, like, you have the ability to help yourself feel better by giving your body a break, but you need to do it safely. So rounded answer, I'm a pro for cleanse, but with, precautions, and you can't just have water only for a week and things like that. Like, please don't take medical advice from anyone who's not a medical professional.
No doubt. Yeah.
That's it. How about you?
This is what I've heard. Step one, talk to a medical professional, preferably in the naturopathic field, because they're much more familiar with cleanses. It's part of their education. It is not part of the Western medicine education. So start there to ensure whatever you're deciding to do works fine with your own health. because your doctor knows you, right? So
Right.
start there. Second, have a very defined why, and it shouldn't be weight loss because it's not sustainable. So if you want to give your system a break, if you want to break a craving that you've been struggling to break, if you want to detoxify the body, like give yourself a very defined why, and then give yourself also a definitive time frame, right? So if you are going to go on a smoothie cleanse, a juice cleanse, a supplement cleanse, how long is that for? Understanding it will end. That is part of the mindset game. If you don't give yourself an end date, if all of a sudden one day you stop the cleanse, you may start these head games of guilt because you stopped. So give yourself, I'm going to do this through the month of January. I'm going to do this the first 3 days of January. I'm going to do this every Monday for the next 3 months. Give yourself a very specific time frame of which to do this cleanse. So that way, when it's done, you are okay with it being done and you can go back to enjoying food nutritionally, deliciously, and sustainably.
Yeah. Yay. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Yeah. So guys, just a quick blurb because it is January. Be on the lookout. My emotional eating. So for those of you that do struggle with mindset, my emotional eating programs as well as my weight loss programs are going on sale starting New Year's Day, and they'll be on sale through January.
Awesome.
Getting a sustainable, like if the philosophies fit, right? It's important to find somebody with philosophies that match your own. So just know that that's there. Take advantage of the specials while you can. I don't know. I don't think naturopaths don't do stuff like that. You guys don't really have to. You're popular
Not
all
so
year
much.
long. Like you're popular all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just really
Preventive
popular
medicine.
now.
Yeah. Yeah. And forever.
And forever.
Thank you for joining, everybody.
Yeah. Have an awesome rest of your week. End the year strong. And really understand what you want for yourself for the new year and start the new year the way you want it to end, the way you want to live the entire thing. And then it'll be a great one.
Yay.
All right.
Blunt bias out.